Oh. Oh, hello there. How's it going? Ooh, excuse me. That's kind of gross, actually, but I don't care. Hello. I hit the wrong button because I'm forgetting all my commands. There we go. That's better. I'll try this on too. There we go. That did nothing. Cool. Hey, what's up, everybody? Oh, I gotta add my Christmas lights to this screen as well. There's my Christmas lights. Move it down. Bam. So some of you will hopefully remember my Christmas lights because they're just awesome. And it's December, and now that I'm streaming again 2 days in a row, I can have my fucking lights back because I fucking want them. Alright, so give me a second as I have a little snack here, because fuck your lights. I've missed you, Metal. Did I eat dinner tonight? I don't know. Probably not. Wait, did I eat dinner? I don't know. I forget if I eat sometimes. Wait, I ate, right? Was that yesterday? Yeah, I did. I had chicken patty sandwiches. They were delicious. And now I'm having some toaster tarts, not Pop-Tarts. Literally, they're toaster tarts. That doesn't even, because they're generics. I ain't got that Pop-Tarts money. Unless you want to subscribe. I don't really care. Alright, as I eat my toaster tarts, I am continuing my homebrew stuff that I was working on yesterday, as well as some other stuff as well. So yesterday I was working on, I was doing the Remnant monster, and then I also was doing work on the Remnant player race, which I think they both came out kind of well. Obviously, like anything I've ever homebrewed before has just been for my own personal use and my own campaigns or own games. So I don't know how it will do in the larger D&D / just D20 system world, but I like it so far. So, another thing I'm working on as well is I have a plan for a class. Still working it out. I haven't started writing anything down yet because I still need to work on that and figure out where to start. But just a little sneak preview of it. I know I showed you guys this yesterday too. Esper Genesis, which is the book that I bought at PAX, which is super cool. D&D in space! And it's super cool. And what I noticed is there's a lot of classes in here. I think there's like 8. Probably the same number as the regular D&D Player's Handbook. And there's a couple parallels. There's one that's clearly a paladin, one that's a warrior, a ranger, one that's sort of cleric-y, one that's like sort of... They have a couple that are rolled into like wizard, sorcerer, warlock, like the magic part of it. But there's no bard. I noticed that. There's no bard. There's no monk. I mean, I don't really care about that, though. There's the warrior in there, which is fine. But there's nothing, like, bard-ish. There's nothing support-wise. So I had an idea to possibly throw something in there that's a little bit more support-wise. I am still working at King's... I'm still in, like, the idea phase. Like, I haven't even started thinking about mechanics or anything. I'm just kind of spitballing that. Who play monks anyway? That's true. I did also watch Kung Fury today. So I kind of want to play a monk because that's actually pretty fucking cool. But that's a whole other story. But I had an idea for a sort of support class, utility class. Again, just still in the idea phase, like, this is cool. I have no idea how to put it in mechanics-wise yet. That's something for later on. But one thing I have been kind of working on a little bit, and I started writing stuff down for it, not a lot, like maybe like a paragraph, is I started working on like an adventure module. Well, sort of an adventure module slash source book, in a way. Let me actually show you an example, because one of the other games that I shouldn't say I play it like one time so far, but I have a shit ton of the books for it, is the Fantasy Flight Star Wars game. Let me actually just grab some. I kind of want to show you guys what I'm talking about. Oh god, the lights? Yes, the lights are back. I gotta figure out what's a good example of it. I mean, I can just show you pretty much all the books I have for it. Like, these are just some of the books I have for this game. Played it one time. Where's the Resistance? There we go. There's a Strongholds of Resistance. So, that's right, Will. The lights are back. So, one of the things that Fantasy Flight does that's kind of cool is they have a bunch of different source books. Each class has its own source book to add extra specializations and stuff like that. That's a whole separate thing. Also, this game is cool. There's Age of Rebellion, then there's Edge of the Empire, Force and Destiny. I can actually explain that later if you guys are interested, but one cool thing about this particular book, Strongholds of Resistance, is it's a source book that has different enemies, but it also has little things about the different planets. So like Mon Cal is in here. What else is in here? I think like Chandrilla's in here probably somewhere. Chandrilla's in here, yeah. There's a couple different planets you can use for like campaigns and all that cool stuff. There's also a Hut Space one, which is pretty cool as well. I have that. But what I wanted to do is, with this game, with the DC one, the Dun Dice, it's the proprietary dice. I mean, you get used to it after a while. I think it's cool. It's a lot more narrative, which I've figured that out in the couple times I've played it. I played it at PAX, which was kind of fun. But for this particular game, they do have a map of the galaxy in the back of the book, which is kind of cool, and they have info on some of the planets. But there's a lot of areas kind of left empty so far, because this is the first book they've put out for the whole system. So I had an idea of making an adventure module, but at the same time, sort of a source book as well, because I could make up my own system, my own sector, and have the adventure take place in that. So like as you're going through the adventure, you're also kind of discovering the different planets and so on. And the cool thing is, which oddly enough, I just grabbed this from my shelf back there. This little binder, this is actually something I made with a friend of mine when we were like 10. So this is like 20 years old. We both love Star Wars, so we made up our own Star Wars galaxy. Like, let me show you this real quick. This is actually, I don't know if I've ever showed this before. This is my galactic map. Like, this is 10-year-old Chili right here, making this fucking map. Each of the X's, the squares, and everything represents a different faction, and all that fun stuff. And I even have, like, dossiers on, like, the different sectors. Like, here's one sector, and it's planets. Like, I'm a fucking nerd. But regardless, the cool thing is, I've kind of already done some of the work in terms of, like, planet names and what their terrain is and all that kind of stuff. So I could start using this if I really wanted to. Which would be kind of cool. Nerd. Oh, dude. Will, you don't even fucking know my nerd levels. Looks like an old Chili map. Some things never change. What do you mean? My maps don't all look the same. How dare you, asshole. This toast tart's so good. So, jumping over to what I've been working on. Using home brewery still. So I have my different brews, which, by the way, I had a pretty cool idea of, like, rebranding my channel as the brewery, because I'm working on home brews. I don't know. I mean, it's only one thing, but I think it's kind of cool to, like, focus more on that and do gaming every once in a while, just because, like, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I never have enough time or energy to just sit down and, like, play, like, a game for a long period of time, but I don't know, maybe a little time will open up later on. I mean, I'm kind of out of work right now because I haven't heard where I'm being sent next, so that's kind of cool, I guess. I have free time, but whatever. So, we have the Remnant and the Remnant PC races, which is what I showed you guys yesterday and worked on. Which also, by the way, too many beer-themed channels. I know, I figured that. But one other cool thing as well, open link in a new tab, is I figured out how to make things look more like the actual player's handbook. Oop, I don't want to show you that one yet. Put this one over here. There we go. So like I figured out how to make it look kind of more like that. So Will, I know you gave me the thing to do it through Photoshop, which I need to look up how to do that because I can do it more exact doing it that way. With this one, what I'm doing is I take two pictures and I overlay them as background images is what's called in this program. So like this one right here, this image is the same one from when I showed you guys the other day. It's just, it's made bigger and it's put in the background, and then this is a filter that I put over it that kind of gives you this whole thing. And then same for down here, which is, this is kind of okay, but I don't know, I just like how it has this because it makes it seem more legit instead of just having like a blocked out picture. So it's actually, Will, it's what you sent me, which is what showed me how to do this. I thought that was kind of cool. So I have these two now. So I have, so this is the actual racial one, which I think, I don't know if you guys saw that I added in the two different types of remnants now. So I think I did this page with you guys. I think. I forget where I left off on stream. But I added in this stuff. I made a couple changes here. I'm still working on it. Obviously, it's not set in stone. And then now there's two different types of remnants you can do. This a stealth remnant and a combat remnant. Basically, one's just sneakier, one's more powerful. Nothing game breaking, I don't really think. And then this one, I didn't change anything with this. This is all the same. So on top of that, we have those two, and then also we have this, which is my adventure module source book, which is what I'm going to be making. I call it Leviathan. Mostly because the idea I have is, in this game, in Esper Genesis, there's these things called crucibles, which are these giant, like, space stations, like, massive. And because of them, there's a rare resource on there, and it helps heroes go through the process of Esper Genesis, which makes them into the heroes of this game. Which, by the way, guys, buy this fucking book. It's amazing. It's such a fucking good read. So, in the book, it's like, yeah, there's crucibles everywhere. People find them. So I had a pretty cool idea of what if someone found a crucible, but it was like a corrupted crucible. Like, something's wrong with it. And I kept thinking of it as kind of like Lovecraft in space. I mean, I'm sure this has already have. Yeah, Will, do you already have this as well? Because I think you were the one that showed it to us way back when. And I don't know if you were here for the story, but when I saw this book at PAX, the guy at the booth was like, yeah, it's sci-fi D&D. I'm like, oh man, like, there's this one system that my friend showed me. I told him a little about a Harbinger. I'm like, there's a different one he showed me, but like, I could never find it. And all I remembered was, I showed this yesterday on stream, and I'll show it again, because it's still fucking cool as shit. All I remembered was this picture. The Space Dragonborn. And I was like, and I kept telling him, I'm like, yeah, like, there's this one picture, like, it was like a Space Dragonborn, it was so cool. He's like, this is that game. I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever, dude. He's like, no, seriously. He opens up and shows me, I'm like, this is it! This is the game! I freaked out, I bought it. I was so happy. And then after that, I asked him, I'm like, yeah, I don't know if you guys do any freelance stuff. He's like, well, I'm just here to sell the book. Like, I work for the publishing, not the publishing company. He's like, I work for the distribution company, but the writers are here. They'll be back in like an hour. So I went back and talked to them. We already talked about this yesterday, but it was really cool. So that's why, so behind me. I've had it for a year. I didn't fucking know you guys actually, whatever. I guess, did you guys back it on Kickstarter? Is that why you had the PDF, I guess? But regardless, it's so fucking cool. I've been reading through it. It's awesome. And I'd love to play a one-shot or two on it if I had a chance. But, I mean, depends if I have fucking time. So, again, the idea I have is that one of these crucibles is found in this small system. I have one ready for You're Not Such a Fucking Scrub. That's hurtful, Will, but also, we should definitely play it. I don't know when I'm going to have some time. Hopefully my weekends are opening up soon. Mostly because, winter is kind of the off-season for construction and everything, so we'll figure that out. But yeah, I'll talk to you later on tonight, or maybe probably just tomorrow, I guess. But regardless, we'll work on that. But, yeah, so I had the idea of this crucible. It's corrupted, and basically, people who go to it thinking like, oh, it's a crucible, like there's stuff in there, like we can loot it, we can take all the stuff. They get like infected by it basically, and then that's what the Lovecraftian part comes in. Like they come back, like they've gone through the process of Espergenesis, but something was wrong, and they come out like kind of also for any of you guys who've ever played Warhammer 40k, like almost like Slaanesh cultists, where like they have like an extra arm, or they have like 3 eyes, like something like that. Something mutates them. I think it'd be kind of cool as well, because that could lead into making other monsters, or reskinning monsters, like maybe reskinning ghouls and zombies, because like those are now these people who have been like turned into these like husks and stuff like that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So, all I have is this picture, which, by the way, I've been crediting where I'm getting all the pictures from, so that's kind of cool. And then I have this written so far, which is... I love this... I want to call it a program, but it's just a website. But I love this program. It's so fucking cool, and it makes it look so cool and official. Although I need to keep going back and checking my spell check, because there's no built-in spell check. So, introduction. The Valoria system sits just beyond the edge of the Mid-Expanse, which is a real thing in Espergenesis. It's a location. It's like the Mid-Rim. Just beyond the edge of the Mid-Expanse within the Etrusian sector. Say so. Oh my god, Hot Matt, bye! I'm so glad you came by, Mr. Bear. Bye, friend. I hate you for hiding all the fucking dum-dums around my house, asshole. This dude comes over for PAX, leaves, and hides 40 fucking dum-dums around my house. I find a new one every day. It's so fucking frustrating. Anyway, bye, man. Yeah, so within the Etrusian sector. Being close to both the Silrain Arc and the Eridati Passage, which are both real things. The Valorian system manages to benefit from both trade routes, while still being largely overlooked by the surrounding systems. So, you love it, don't lie. Shut up. So the idea is that, while it's popular enough that people can go there, and there's a good traffic of people, and people know about it, but it's not known enough that, like, if something happened there, like, people wouldn't know right away, basically. Yeah, so it says, when first discovered, the Valorian system was considered... I say the Valoria system, not Valorian. The Valoria system was considered a backwater system by many of its galactic neighbors, due to its recent, its recent discovery of interplanetary travel. As such, explorers, warriors, and opportunists flocked to the sector to carve out their own destinies in this new frontier. So again, the idea I had was that the system itself isn't very developed. Like, they've just figured out how to go but from planet to planet. So on top of whatever's going on in the adventure module, you've got the system of, like, you've got this thing where, like, they don't know a lot about each other, so there's conflicts there too, which could lead into other adventures, who knows. It is during this influx of visitors that an incredible discovery is made. An ancient crucible is found orbiting one of the moons of the planet Marilla in the sector. While still inactive, various adventurers still attempt to find a way to use the crucible's secrets and be the first to activate it and discover all its treasures. So, again, I wanted this to be something where the crucible hasn't been found yet. Because, I mean, obviously in this book, they find crucibles all over the galaxy. So I wanted it to be kind of hidden away. And I figured in a system where they haven't figured out interplanetary travel yet, they wouldn't have discovered this, because they wouldn't be able to go to the moon. So they go to the moon, they're like, holy shit, there's a fucking crucible here. But it's not active. And then from there, it kind of leads into the rest of the adventure. So that's what I have so far. Not a lot. I know I've been kind of still planning and writing everything out, like, in my notebooks, which I don't know where the fuck my notebook is, so I can't use it. But yeah, I mean that's what I have so far. I think it sounds kind of alright. And I've also been using Dragon Heist as kind of a inspiration to see like how things are set up, like format wise, I guess. Sorry, as I eat more of my toaster tarts. Oh. Oh god. All right. All right, here we go. So after that, we'll say, little do they know the dark secrets hidden below its surface. Okay, and that's our introduction. Let's also open up Google Drive. Hey! Thanks, Matt. Critical Reroll hosted me. Thank you. Also, for those of you guys who like Critical Reroll is a podcast / Twitchcast where people talk about the latest episodes. It's pretty cool. I was a host of it for a while, but then I stopped because I didn't have a lot of time. Common theme. But my friends still do it, and they're pretty good at it. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is let me just copy and paste this to make sure that things are spelled correctly. Okay, that's fine. Cool. Okay, so the basic stuff is all spelled correctly. Good. Good. We're up, Caboose! Alright, let me just finish eating this because it's going to distract me if it's sitting here not eaten. Is that fat? That's fat. I know. I don't care. Oh. Almost done. Perfect, done. The joys of streaming. I don't want to leave too much sound, so I try to eat as fast as possible. Alright, so... Cool, alright, so after that is then story overview, which... I need to open up this page so I can figure out the formatting. Okay, helping out, so that's two number signs. Or 2 pound signs, as the kids say. Story overview. Cool. Alright, so... Right, story overview, it just kind of jumps into it from there? Right, is that how that works? Yeah, okay. Alright, honestly, who throws a shoe? The adventure... Oh, nope. The adventure... Hold on. I need to stop closing books. That's my problem. Alright, so we've got that, so... Okay. So first off, how do you italicize? So it's under edit and share. 1. Okay, so it's 1. What is that symbol? What would you call that symbol? Star? I guess just the star? Okay, so one of those. So Leviathan is a is an investigative adventure. Right? Is that what I would call it? So it's not really... I mean, you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on, but I don't know how you would quantify it. Like water, it says Waterdeep is a treasure hunt. No shit. It's not a fucking treasure hunt. Hold on, let me grab some other modules so I can kind of get a better idea. Get my module thing. Alright, so what's Curse of Strahd say? Curse of Strahd says... Oh, that's a whole big thing there. I don't want to do any of that. What does Princess of the Apocalypse say? This is one of my favorite ones. Using this book, adventure backgrounds. Okay, yeah, so I can fucking wing it. None of these things have a specific. None of these things have a specific format, so it doesn't really matter. Story review. So. Players traveling through the Valoria system will soon find themselves caught up in the events unfolding around the Leviathan Crucible. Spelled on unflooding. It should be unfolding. Unfolding around the Crucible. During the events of Leviathan, the players will find themselves going deeper and deeper into the mysteries of this inactive crucible. Alright, so the one thing I do want to steal from this is so I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna steal the same thing from Waterdeep. So I'm gonna say the plot of Leviathan can be summarized as follows. Right? Is that how it's worded in here? As you guys can tell, I'm kind of stealing formatting and wording from actual published things just to kind of get a better idea of how things are written. Can be summarized as... Yeah, can be summarized as follows. Perfect. How do you do these? What is that? That is PDF exporting. So it's just one and space? Okay, that's fine. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So, players arrive in the Valoria system and begin to notice strange events occurring on multiple planets. That's good. That's good for right now. And then another one. I have to do 2 spaces, don't I? Do I have to do 2 spaces? Why is that one... Do I have to do... Oh, that's why. Okay. That's fine. Alright, players arrive in the Valoria system to begin the strange events occurring on the planets. The events are all connected to explorers who entered the Crucible. Alright, and then the last part is players must enter the Crucible and figure out how to stop... I don't want to give it away right there. I guess how to stop what's going on? Is that how you guys would word that? What do you think? They must enter the Crucible and figure out how to stop the events in motion? Because I don't want to tell, like, how to stop the infection, or whatever I'm going to call it. I don't know. Events are all discovered to be connected to explorers who enter the Crucible. Period. Or do I put a period after those? I don't think so, right? Just leave them... No, I do. Cool. Alright. Anything in real life that have a period gets a period here. Figure out the mystery? Okay. I must figure out the mystery. Must enter the Crucible and figure out the mystery of the Crucible. Do I need that second of the Crucible, do you think? You know what I'm gonna do? Must also enter the structure, because I don't want to have to put Crucible twice. That looks dumb. Hits the ear wrong. Players must also enter the structure and figure out the mystery of the Crucible. Bam! Figure out the mystery behind the strange events surrounding the Crucible. I like that better. Must also enter the structure and figure out the mystery of the strange events surrounding the Crucible. Okay, so story review, we have players traveling through the Valoria system will soon find themselves caught up in the events unfolding around the Crucible. The plot of Leviathan can be summarized as follows. Players arrive in the Valoria system and begin to notice strange events occurring on multiple planets. Events are all discovered to be connected to explorers who enter the Crucible. Players must also enter the structure and figure out the mystery of the strange events surrounding the Crucible. Got it. I like it. Alright, okay, so... Strange event number 1. Chili hates us and never gets on anymore. Oh, would you... Listen, Will. I'm working on it, okay? I've been extremely busy, and this is the first free time I've had in months, and I'm using it to stream. To be with you guys, so I don't want to hear it. Alright, so that's story overview, and I guess so the next is running the adventure? Running the adventure. Or, you know what I'm going to do? Even before that, I'm going to move that down a little bit. And then is it 3 is... 1, 2, 3 is... Yes, the Valoria system. Okay, so... Nestled between 2 large trade routes through the mid expanse, the Valoria system is home. I spelled routes wrong. Is but a small portion of the larger Etrusian sector. Within this system is like a couple planets, or are within the system? Yeah, because system is one singular, so yeah. Alright, so then within this system is a small number of habitable planets. Each of the planets are featured later on in this module. So that way I can set it up for like later on in different chapters, I guess, like a better description of each of the planets. Which I think is gonna be just 3. So maybe 2 planets and 1 moon. So the 1 moon is where the Crucible is, and then there's just 2 planets. So the idea I'm having here is that this Crucible is defective, has a virus on it, or corrupted, whatever. And the explorers who go there, something happens to them, and they go back to their planets and spread this infection or whatever it is among the people. So when they arrive, whichever planet they choose to go to first, they start seeing these different things. Like different systems or different cities have different events going on, like something. Basically something where they'll lead it back to this person and so on. Maybe just throw quick bullet points of the players as a preview. Maybe just name biome theme. That's not a bad idea. Also, hi Mac, what up? Yeah, each of the planets are featured later on in this module, but a brief description of each is as follows. I don't want that. All right. So the first one is, of course, Valoria, and the second one is Marilla. Maybe I will make a third planet. I'm here for space weirdness. Perfect. Where's my binder of chili as a child? Let's steal another name for a planet from in here. Let's see, the Marilia sector. Maybe I won't use Marilia, because Marilia is a full-on sector. Yeah, I'm gonna save Marilia. What I have? Of course. So I have can be found below. Probs don't want to use as follows. So twice together. Can be found. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. As follows. Yeah. So but a brief description can be found below. Perfect. Okay. So Valoria is obviously one. Now I need 2 more names. I don't want to use any names from this one because I want to save them for later on, just in case. Valoria. Oops. Planet 2. Planet 3. All right. Let's see. I need another planet name. So we have Valoria. Arnok. I don't know how I come up with these names. I literally just pick a letter and just like, what sounds spacey? Let's see. Let's see. Give me a letter. Give me a letter. Let's go with R. Bob. Fuck you. Rins. No, stop. That's stupid. So Valoria, Arnok, and I need a cool name for a planet with an R. Raynon. Cool. R Bob. Fuck you. Alright, so we have Valoria. Which... make them a little bit bold and italicized. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so we have Valoria. Capital of system. Verdant biomes of forest. Say lush, verdant biomes. Because I feel like if you say lush, verdant biomes, that at least makes you think of, like, a green planet. Am I wrong? I think so. I think I know. I think that works. Arnok. Arnok is manufacturing planets, harsh chemical landscapes. Lush and verdant are enough to say big forests. Perfect. And then Raynon, manufacturing planet. Facturing planet. There we go. Then so we have our capital, which is like our lush, verdant forest planet. And then we have Arnok, which is the manufacturing planet, so it's kind of poisoned a little bit. And then we have Raynon, which, let's just say Raynon is, I don't want to go with the desert planet because I think it's too kind of cliche. Let's just say, various biomes. Sea planet? I don't know. Is a sea planet kind of cliche too? I don't know. Why is that Christmas border still a thing? Because it's fucking December, Caboose. That's why I brought it back. The funny thing is, I actually forgot about this border, and I didn't have it on Streamlabs, but I was going back through my old Twitch stuff, like on my channel, and I'm like, man, like, I can't think of, like, no, all my videos are gone because it's been 2 months since I streamed, but all that's on there is like clips and stuff. So I'm looking at one, and it had this border. I'm like, oh my god, I remember that border. I should totally go get it. And I did. I put it on tonight, and I'm very excited about it. Haters gonna hate. Hate us because they ain't us. Fucking agree. Alright, damn it. What's this page again? So Raynon, fuck it. Ocean planet. There we go. Oh no, even better. So we'll just say massive ocean with various various island continents. There we go. So it's a little bit less cliche-ish. So instead of having like giant land masses, there's just like various islands. Like imagine a planet full of Australias. What a fucking planet that would be. I think the word for that is Death World. That's what they would call it in 40K. Okay, so yeah, a lot of criminals. I mean, cool. All right, so that gives you a little quick thing about the system. Beautiful. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Now we get to the running the adventure part, which... What exactly is under that section? Kangaroos would obviously be the dominant species. Is it literally just saying, like, you need the player's handbook? Is that what running the adventure is in the other ones, too? Give me a second. Yeah, it literally... Shit, okay. Interesting. Yeah, so I guess running the adventure is just the section that says you need the player's handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide and all that stuff. Have some lovely women. Indeed. Maybe I don't need that part then. I can just go right to adventure structure, I guess. Okay, cool. Yeah, so let's actually get rid of running the adventure. Because that's just like, you'll need this and this. So we'll do adventure structure. Okay, now from here we're going to stop with this. And we're going to jump over to a new Google Doc. Oh, wait, no, we already have one open. We have this one, right? Is this the same one? Yeah, okay. Cut, move all this down here. Okay, so what I want to do now is I want to actually plan things out a little bit more. Because in a lot of the books I was looking at, the adventure structure part is like, in chapter 1 you do this, in chapter 2 blah 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 blah. Now obviously the module is going to be much shorter. I think maybe 3 chapters. Chapter 1 is like your arrival in system and shit's going weird. Chapter 2 is tracking down, maybe figuring out what's going. Chapter 2 is where you figure out the connection that it's the Crucible's doing this, and then Chapter 3 is going into the Crucible and figuring out what's wrong. So I can imagine Chapter 3 at least just being one massive dungeon. So that's kind of done. Well, I mean, from the idea standpoint. Let me actually write all this shit down. So yeah, so we're gonna do. Why do I grab a notebook when I have a fucking computer in front of me with a Google Doc open? All right, so story structure. 3 chapters. Chapter 1, arrival in system. Chapter 2. I'm leaving chapter 2 open for right now. Chapter 3. Enter Crucible. Arrival in system. Begin noticing strange events. You should take advantage of the travel system and make chapter 1 getting to the Crucible. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed a couple things. Have you been watching Elseworlds? I asked that. No, I haven't. I haven't watched any of the CW stuff in a while. The travel system. Make chapter 1 getting to it. Interesting. I haven't really read up by the travel system just yet. I've been kind of flipping through a lot of different stuff. Excuse me as I flip through this book. Starships and space travel. Yeah, I looked at this stuff a little bit. Traveling speeds, standard travel, Because don't they actually have mechanics for, like, actually flying and doing different... Yeah. Oh, yeah, I do remember all that stuff. So maybe... Or maybe maybe chapter 1 is they notice the strange events. Yeah, the robust flight and travel system adds another layer to play. Maybe I'll look into that a little bit more later on. But I'm imagining, so chapter 1 is they arrive in system and they notice the events. We'll give players more of a space feel than rather just being put in a dungeon. So I'm not paying attention, so when you invite me to this game, I don't know anything. It's up to you, man. I would say for sure add that in to showcase it, even if between 2 and 3. Okay, so then... Yeah, so the idea of having now is... Yeah, alright, so I'm going to put something here real quick. I'm going to put chapter 2.5, because this is going to be Flight to Crucible. So, the idea I'm having right now is 1 and 2 is basically figuring out, seeing all these events, trying to unravel the mystery, and figuring out it has something to do with the Crucible. And then this 2.5 is having to get to the Crucible, where by this point, the Crucible's waking up, and whatever is infecting it, or corrupting it, or whatever term I choose to use, is now trying to protect it from the players, because it's... Okay, here we go. Here's my idea. So whatever is wrong with this Crucible that's been causing its corruption to spread to other people, as the players are unraveling it and defeating these infected people or whatever, the Crucible is learning about these characters. So when they eventually start to head towards the Crucible, it tries to protect itself and scrambles these fighters. And one of the chapters is them having to fight their way through these fighters to get to the Crucible. Does that sound cool or dumb? That seems. I mean, you guys, Will and Metal, you seem to have a better idea of the flight system. I haven't read about it a lot yet. I've been kind of a little overwhelmed by a lot of the different spell things and everything. But does that seem feasible? Do you think that like one of the mini sections of it is just having to fight through the different like a dogfight sort of? Or maybe that could even be the end of chapter 2. So I'm gonna for that I'm gonna put chapter 2.5 and then in parentheses possibly end of chapter 2. Okay, so I'm thinking other ideas I'm coming up with is they arrive in the system, begin to notice the events, and maybe alright, maybe okay, I'm sorry, my mind is spinning right now and I'm trying to find the way to put it all into words. What up, Sparcy? So here's the idea. They arrive in system. They start seeing these weird things going on. And maybe towards the end of chapter 1 is when they go up against the first big bad. Like, no one's serious. Like, just like maybe like one of the first space captains who was corrupted by this and they have to fight him. And the way that fight ends is like he detonates their ship. Or something where it causes them to not have their own way to get to the Crucible. So then chapter 2 is them trying to follow up on the rest of these leads, maybe even track that guy down if he escaped, and end this corruption within the area they're in, but also find a way to get to the Crucible. And the way chapter 2 ends is they have this ship, maybe they repaired their ship, I don't know, and then they go and they have the fight, and then the last chapter is getting into the Crucible. I think that's kind of a good-ish thing. Well, let's put chapter 2, figure out Crucible is causing events. So we'll leave it at that. That arrival in system is they begin noticing strange events. Chapter 2 is they figure out the Crucible is causing the events. 2.5, maybe the end, is the flight to the Crucible where you have the dog fights. And the third one is entering the Crucible. So, so one thing we can do right now. Chapter 3 is a dungeon. Done. I shouldn't say done. We have to like make the actual fucking dungeon, but that part's at least done. Chapter 1. You know what else I'm doing? I'm gonna put chapter 4. Valoria System Dossier. So that way, dungeon crawl. Yeah. So let's put chapter 3 is dungeon crawl. So. Chapter 4 then is going to be the dossier on the different planets, which you can then... Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add that in right now. It's featured later on in Chapter 4. Beautiful. All right, also, how do you... I just realized on the page number... Cut that. I'm gonna put the page numbers here. So technically this is gonna be page 1. So paste that. So page 1, part 1. Right? Is that? Sorry, now I'm caught back up on formatting again instead of. So I'm just going to put introduction. Introduction. Although, why is it now... Save that. Why is it on this side? Oh, that's why. Okay, so it's one. So technically, this would be page 2. That's why. Okay, I can do that. So this is technically page 1, even though it's the cover. Whatever. Anyway, I'm concerning myself with... Fuck it. It's page 1. Whatever. I'm concerning myself with the wrong things here. Alright, so chapter 3 is Dungeon Crawl. Chapter 2... Chapter 1. So chapter 2... I'm jumping all around. You guys can now see why I am the way I am. Formatting is easy to get wrapped up in. Yeah, I know. Why am I being tagged in this? Oh. That's kind of cool. Oh, hi there, Jake! Alright, chapter 1. So let's arrange this into different parts. So, first event that happens. Characters arrive in system. Okay, now the other thing is they have to have a reason for why they're here to begin with. Oh, okay. Characters arrive... Damn it. So what I'm thinking about now is, when they arrive in system, I had the idea of, like, they're here to check out the Crucible. But then why wouldn't they just go to the Crucible right away? Shit. Heard rumors of Crucible, but don't know where it is. That's actually not bad. Don't know location. Okay. Arrive in system. Chasing rumors of recently discovered Crucible. Actually, that would make sense, because the whole point is the Valoria system is not nearly as advanced as the other systems. So it could have been cool, like, where they don't... The people there who discovered it don't know coordinates. Like, they don't understand how to get places. They're like, shit, we found... Let's go tell everyone. Where was it? Fuck, I don't remember. I don't know. Yeah, what up, Jake? Hi. Chasing rumors of recently discovered Crucible. Can follow leads on... Now, what I want to do here, too, is... although I feel like this could be too ambitious, is give them the choice of what planet they want to go to first. Whether it's Valoria, Arnak, or Raynon. And then each planet has a different event that's going on, basically. Kind of like how in Dragon Heist, there's the different... Each villain has its own story path, I guess. Is that how it works? I've only briefly looked at Dragon Heist. Let me just double check that, because I think that'd be kind of cool to do that. Like each planet kind of has its own thing. But I don't know how ambitious that is, though, to try and do it that way instead of just like one specific story. Yeah, so this is like... This is all depending on the fucking time of year. Yeah, so I guess everything. Sorry, as I'm flipping through this fucking book. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Give them 2 possible contacts, 1 on each planet. Okay, perfect. Yeah, we'll do that. So arriving systems. Players have 2 possible leads. Name. Name 1. Name 2. So name 1. Sorry, I keep getting ideas popping in my head. So there's the 3 planets. There's Valoria, the capital, which is like the verdant, lush planet. I keep saying those 2 fucking words. There's Raynon, which is the ocean planet with all the continents. But then there's Arnok, where Arnok's the manufacturing planet with the kind of toxic atmosphere. Maybe Arnok's quarantined right now because of... Oh, yeah. I got it. Begin noticing strange events. Something about Arnok is where when the people went to the Crucible, they went to Arnok and then went from there because that's the manufacturing plants. They got all those repairs to get their ships ready and went from there. So chapter 2 is going to Arnok and figuring out the mystery. So chapter 1 is just kind of going to one or both of the planets, collecting the leads, and then maybe 2 is going to Arnok. I think I like that. So name 1. So this person is on Valoria. This person is on Raynon. So chapter 2. So the first thing, chapter 2 is arrival on Arnok. The other thing I gotta think about too, as I continue to ramble, is this is a very short module. Like, I'm not building fucking Dragon Heist where it's like however many pages. This is probably going to be like 10 pages, I'm assuming. It's just kind of, it's to get my feet wet in homebrew, guys. I'm not building the next fucking D&D adventure module, but that would be cool though if I did. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so chapter 1 is going to these planets and gathering up info. Chapter 2 is going on Arnok and fighting your way through. I got it. Okay, I definitely got it. So chapter 1, they go to either Valoria or Raynon. They get all their information, and at the end of chapter 1 is where they encounter... Yeah, exactly. I don't need to build a full book for it. Maybe at the end of chapter... Let me do it real quick. So, end of chapter 1 is fight with insert big bad here. So, who is first corrupted captain who went to Crucible. God, I love a song. Okay, yeah, so the end of chapter 1 is that they're starting to kind of put the pieces together like, well, this is weird, like, where are these things coming from? They're all kind of popping up everywhere. And then they get attacked by this captain. That's how I write my backstories. So they fight this captain, and maybe they either kill him or he escapes. And if he escapes, he leads them back to Arnok. But if they kill him, he was betrayed by Name. But if they kill him, they can be like, who the fuck was this guy? And then maybe someone's like, yo, that was not literally like talking about, bro. Like, that was one of the first captains who went to the Crucible. We thought he was dead. Like, no one's seen him. And it's like, well, where the hell was he? And then maybe on his ship, there's logs of him going from Arnok to the Crucible and back. Like, well, what the fuck's on Arnok? And they go, it's all coming together, baby. Fuck yeah. Alright, so we have, depending on, captain's fate, players will find leads to take them to Arnok. I love it when a plan comes together. Okay, if killed, maybe an NPC can identify body as... Can identify body. Let's say identify body. Or players can find information on Captain's ship, telling them he left from Arnok to go to Crucible and then returned to Arnok, even though he was presumed dead. If escaped, players can track his ship back to Arnok. And that gives them a chance to also use this tribal system. If captured and kept alive, can be interrogated. It's not even close how you spell interrogated. Can be interrogated and will blather on about how. So I'm trying to. So basically, I want him to kind of like be. His mind is all fucked up, and he's. I don't want him to give up the Crucible just yet, because because otherwise, instead of going to Arnok, they're like, well, let's just fucking go to the Crucible and then skip that whole chapter. Maybe he's okay. So here's the idea: so we have this captain who's the big bad of chapter 1. Maybe chapter 2 will have like his boss. So maybe he's not the first captain. Have him speak in an alien language. That's a fucking good idea. Like the... Oh my god. Okay, I got it. I got it! If Caption kept alive, Crucible has warped his mind, making him speak unintelligibly. Is that how you spell it? Something else for them to figure out, and then the can be traced back to some ancient race. Making him speak unintelligibly, except for the word Arnok? Like, maybe that's the only word he can say normally? I don't know if that makes sense. Like, he's like, Arnok, Arnok. Like, he keeps saying Arnok. What the fuck's... Like, what's on Arnok? And then takes him to Arnok. Maybe. What do you guys think? And actually, Metal, that's a good idea too, because then at the end, that can be another adventure hook. Like, they figure out that there's some sort of like maybe Cthulhu race, like the I don't know how you say the name in D&D, the Chull, like Cools, whatever they are. They're like the little tentacle monsters. Like maybe there's a whole alien race of them out there, and you're like, they're the ones that corrupted the Crucible. They found it millennia ago, and they fucked with it. And this is like a big experiment. It's like I've done this before. Oh my god, that's such a good idea. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So, at very end, players discover that the Crucible was corrupted by ancient alien race in an alien language no one knows. Speak same language as Captain from chapter 1. Oh wait, maybe this is a way I could do like a reskin sci-fi Mind Flayer, and that's the race. Picking up what I'm putting down. Was corrupted by ancient alien race. They speak the same language as Captain from chapter 1. Um, players can then attempt to track down Race. Bam. Yeah, I was saying Mind Flayers are kind of Cthulhu-y already, so that would kind of make sense. Or, oh my god, it's all coming. Too many ideas. So they can attempt to track down Race, and then Race corrupted Crucible as an experiment. Got it. So the reason they fucked this with this Crucible in the first place is because they're like, what's it gonna do? Like they fucked up with it. Fucked up with it? What? They fucked up the Crucible and corrupted it with something that maybe it's starting to turn. I got it. To morph other life forms into their race, and that's what's happening. So they fucked with this Crucible, knowing that it has the process of Espergenesis to make people into heroes. So they found one millennia ago, and they're like, listen, anyone finds this one, it's going to infect them, it's going to turn them into us, and we're going to have the power of Espergenesis. So when these people show up, they're like, oh my god, it's so cool, but then they get infected, and they're slowly turning into these Mind Flayer, or whatever, I call them monsters. So when the players figure out the mystery of the Crucible, and they figure out that it was this race, that leads them on maybe another adventure later on, like, these fucking space squids are trying to corrupt the galaxy and corrupt these Crucibles. And it's like, how many other Crucibles have they corrupted? What? Oh my god, I'm so smart. Got it. Okay. Okay, so the players have two possible leads. They have this person on Valoria, this person on Raynon. Depending on what lead they follow, they get caught in various events. So maybe I'll just do like one event per person. Wait, that's perfect. Okay, I got it. So the way this will be broken up is... So what I'm thinking about is Chapter 1 would take 3 to 4 sessions. So the first session is your introduction to the system. Maybe you're trying to find someone, and the session 1 ends before your first big fight. Session 2 is that fight. Okay, so here's the idea. There's 2 leads. You go to one lead, you do whatever his mission is, and you fight these low-level space squid people. And you're like, what the fuck was that? Like, what is going on? And the guy's like, I don't know. Like, this is all I got. And like, all right, well, let's go check the other guy. So you go to the other guy, and then you do the same thing. Whatever his mission is, you start fighting these more space squid people. And you're like, what the fuck? It's the same people. Where are they coming from? And then that's when the captain shows up. And the captain's like, I don't know, like, you'll never find us. I don't know. He'll say he'll do something. And they fight the captain, and then the captain, from there, that leads them to Arnok. And then on Arnok, maybe there's even like... I know, I'm not basing on sessions for timing. I'm just kind of coming up with like little chunks. Where like there's part... So Chapter 1, Part 1 is your first lead. Like arriving in, figuring out the first lead, doing all that stuff. Part 2 is your second lead. So you can do them in any order. You do one lead, then you do the other one, and then after that, that triggers the captain fight. Where the captain's hunting you down and all that fun stuff. And then Chapter 2 is Arnok. Okay, so yes, that's what we're going to do. So, my notes are going to be so fucking, like, not even organized. Part 2. Okay, so let's see. What are our leads going to be telling them? Okay. As long as you can decipher them, YOLO. Okay, so the Valoria lead is going to be that local street gang is swelling in size and members are abducting people. Okay, because that way maybe one of... Oh my god. Okay, so there's only been one ship that's gone to the Crucible and come back. This captain, whoever he is. So, the captain went to the ship, was presumed dead. Everyone's like, yo, okay, oh my god, I got it. So, the Crucible's found behind this moon by this ship captain, who radios back like, oh my god, we have people have just discovered interplanetary travel. I found this huge thing. I'm gonna go investigate it. Goes dead. No one hears from him. They're like, fuck, he's totally dead. No one go near that moon. Fuck that shit. And they presume he's dead. He comes back without anyone knowing, and his crew, whatever happens to them on the Crucible, his crew is spreading out. And some of them go to Valoria, some of them go here. And the idea is that, like, one of his crew members was from Valoria, or a couple of them, and they come back and they're like, we gotta spread this infection, and they're part of a street gang, and that's where that goes with. Bam, thank you. I love that. Okay. So your lead in that case would be the leader of the security force. He has no info on the Crucible, but you help him with the gang and he can get info. Okay. Has no info on Crucible at first, but promises to get some if players help him stop local gang. Okay. So so they go to him first, like, hey, what do you know about the Crucible? He's like, I don't know jack shit, but, and like he throws down pictures like, this person was supposed to have been on the ship that went to it. We thought they were dead. They've shown up again. Track them down, figure out what's going on. I'll help you. So they track down the gang, and oh my god, that's it. So they track down the gang, and that leader escapes, and like, fuck. Well, we don't know where he went. Let's go check the other system. Same thing happens there. That person escapes too, and the three of them and the captain are okay. Got it. Along with leaders from part 1 and 2. So, Captain leaves, saying he'll see them. Okay, so basically here's the idea. Instead of them fighting the captain now at the end, possibly escapes. Okay, so instead of them fighting the... Because the idea I'm having now is, instead of them fighting the captain at the end of Chapter 1, they're fighting both those guys who escaped after both the leads. And then that leads them to their captain. So maybe they capture both of them, and the security lead's like, yo... Yeah, it's true. Never force an escape. Or maybe they're just not there when they raid the gang hideout. Like, all right, we killed them all. Where's this guy? It's like, he's not here. And then find him later? I don't know. Because now I like the idea of them having either not been there or escaped. Because then that causes the players to try and track them down. Although, knowing most players... they wouldn't let the guy escape. Like, well, on to the next lead. They would try to find that guy. They can escape, but give them something that will make it more feasible. Yeah. I know. So I'm trying to think now is the instead of chancing it, where like, oh, you have him, but he escaped. Sorry. I think I'm just gonna make it so he's not even there. They show up with this gang hideout. They work their way through. It's like a little mini dungeon crawl. They murder everyone. Things are weird. Like they have like third arms and all that stuff. Like what the fuck is happening here? Like they have like little tentacle mouths. And they're like, well, where the hell is this person? And then beautiful. Okay, so they show up. Yeah, so Luxury King is abducting people. Leader is supposedly one member of a ship, of the ship, because there's only one, of the ship lost finding the Crucible. Oh, hi, are you writing a module? I am, Jolie. Like, I'm attempting to. So, abducting people, one of the members of the ship lost finding the Crucible. When players arrive, maybe when they arrive, his ship is already taking off. No, because then they would chase it. When players arrive, leader is escaping, and players must fight through gang to figure out where he went. Nice, you have an outline. Yeah. Actually, this works. So then depending on... This works. So depending on whichever person they go after first, that leader is going to escape and head to the other one. Fuck you, McAfee. Someone warned him about the player's arrival and he has to set up an ambush. Okay. Leader's escaping. Where he went. Players are ambushed. Rain on lead. So, whichever lead players follow, when that leader escapes, they head to the other leader. He can even monologue before he leaves. Yeah. So maybe I think a cool thing would be so I have the idea of them on this particular encounter is moving through the hideout, and whoever this leader is, he, she, they, whatever, is fucking with them, like over the intercom, like, you'll never find me, you'll never take me, like the Crucible is... No, well, he wouldn't say the Crucible. It's like, I've seen things you can't even dream about. And then when they finally get close to him, it's like, you're too late, and takes off. Yeah, I don't like the idea of them being him being warned just because then they'd be like, oh, someone betrayed us, and they spend too much time on the planet. Okay, I'll leave it in there anyway. But either way, leader is taunting them over hideout PA system. Because what I've learned is anytime I've run a one-shot, whether online or in person, if you try to have your villain monologue, there's that one girl like, I run and attack him. It's like, all right, well, cool, like, nice. Will escape. Easy way around is to have the mole be there as part of the ambush team. That's true. That's absolutely true. So maybe we could have okay, so yeah, lieutenant. What would be a rank of a cop who would have information but still would go out and help? Lieutenant, right? Yeah, let's put lieutenant. So lieutenant in security force. Yeah, so maybe like the lieutenant and his partner, and the partner's the one that's, yeah, okay. And like his mutation's like something like real tiny, like maybe, oh, when they meet him, he has like a gut. but it's not a gut, it's his third arm. He kind of tapes it across his stomach. That'd be cool as shit, actually. So the big reveal is like, shush, and has a third arm. That's fucking cool. Okay, I'm doing that. Players are ambushed due to leader being tipped off by lieutenant's partner. Cool. Okay, so the Valoria part's kind of settled, at least story-wise. Now on Raynon, this one's on Raynon. Where is Hank Hill in all this? I hate you, Caboose. So Raynon is the other planet. Selling propane and propane accessories. That's true. God damn it, Bobby. Oh, and that's cool then, because then when this is done, the lieutenant's like, "Listen, we'll mop up here. We'll stop this. We'll stop the spread of whatever these things are. You go get them." And then that's when they head to Raynon, but then. Shit. You know what? Maybe I'm just going to leave it so they kill him. Because I don't... Because I feel like if they, Shit, go back to the... There it is. Make the first guy go to the second planet and they trace the ship with some skill checks. Yeah, but at the same time, I want them to... But then does that mean they don't do the encounter for the second planet? They just know they're there and find them? Because, like, if they know... Like, let's say his name's Captain Reynolds. I love Firefly. So let's say they figured out Captain Reynolds is their guy. He leaves and heads towards the second planet. Are they going to go check out the lead? Or are they going to be like, yo, we need to find Captain Reynolds? Have a backup plan in case you're important. Yeah. Well, I'm okay with that guy getting killed, honestly. Because then after that, they'd be like, well, now what? We have to go to the second planet. Actually, no. Okay, I think it'd be fine. Because then their two contacts will both have the same hook where these two people were on this ship. They're supposed to be dead. They're still alive. So if they lose Captain Reynolds and they go to this lead, this guy's, listen, his crewmate's alive too. And have some clue leading to the second planet. Yeah, so... Yeah, so maybe he escapes, but his ship is, like, damaged. And it's like, he can't get very far. Where's he going to go? But that... Okay, backing up a little bit. What if, when you arrive in system, you know that the Crucible, no one knows exactly where it is. People just know that a ship went to it, a ship found it, and then disappeared. And everyone thought they were dead. And now, two members of that ship have shown up on two different planets. So that way, when one of them either escapes or dies, if they escape, it's like, well, he's probably going with his buddy. Let's go check out where his buddy is. And if he dies, his buddy's over there with more information. Okay, there we go. There's our fix. I think that's a pretty good fix. Two possible leads. Yeah. Something as simple as the two planets' names written in blood code alien language. That could work, I think. I think that works. So let's just say it. So when first, so put whether or not first leader is killed or escapes, players are led to second planet. So put i.e. Ship escapes but is too damaged to get far, and the other planet is the closest. Okay, no, that's simple. Perfect. Okay, so here's the deal. So if whoever they're fighting on the first encounter dies, they can search the body and they'll find something like maybe a ship manifest or something that says they're going to the other planet. If they escape, the ship's gonna like, maybe when they're escaping, security forces fire on it and it hits the engine and the thing's damaged and it flies away. And then the lieutenant who's with you's like, he's not gonna be able to get far. That ship busted his engine. And in the solar system, these two planets are like right next to each other. So then it's like, well, he can only get to that planet, so go chase him. And they go from there. I think that works. Done. Got it. If leader escapes, ship is shot by security forces and is too damaged to get far, and the other planet is closest. Bam. If leader, let's get rid of that IE thing. If leader is killed, players find something on them. So we'll say like note, manifest, recording, that leads them to other planet. I think that's fine. Cool. So Valoria is the street gang. That's pretty simple. Raynon, I need to figure out what's gonna be happening there. I don't want to keep using the same thing. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get rid of this part. So basically, so the first Valoria is that there's a street gang that's just getting fucking huge, and the leader of it is supposed to be this person who's supposed to have disappeared on the ship. On Raynon, people are going missing in Major City, and second crew member is always seen on security footage before people go missing. So then that way players can either use investigation to discover hideouts, set up sting operation, or set up stakeout, or use bait to draw him out. I'm just gonna put him. It could be a girl, whatever. I'm working on that. So that way, the second lead, so Raynon is people are going missing, and they're trying to figure out. Oh, okay. We're gonna put important people are going missing in Major City. security forces believe next target is mayor. Players are hired to work as bodyguards during gala. Gotta throw a fucking gala in there because it's fucking D&D. Let's do this. Did you just assume the gender? Fuck you. Alright, perfect. Yeah, so then that way one of them is like more of a social encounter where the other one's a fucking straight up dungeon crawl. Alright, so end of chapter 1 is along part 1 and 2 if they are still alive. Okay, so they have their leads. So mayor's so the mayor's assistant is our second contact. Only knows about mysterious crew member always being around disappearances, offers to help players capture them. Okay, okay, so then now I gotta find a way to bring the captain in. So I think after they capture, kill whatever the second leader, that's gonna, even if they escape, that's gonna cause the captain to track them down. Like, you're too much trouble. You don't know what you're dealing with. Bah! They attack, and then that leads us into chapter 2, which is the arrival on Arnok. So I think that's a pretty good setup so far, right? I think so. I think it's all working out pretty well. Alright, so let's just do a little recap as of right now. So, chapter 1 is they arrive in the system looking for the Crucible. They have 2 leads. One of them is a lieutenant in the security forces on Valoria. Another one is a mayor's assistant on Raynon. Neither one has much information. The 2 guys' ships are fighter shuttles from the main ship of the captain. That's even better. Okay, perfect. So then... yeah, so if leader escapes ship... okay, so now, ship is only a landing craft, not full-on ship. So that way, not landing craft, is only a short-range shuttle. So that way, it's pretty cool, because if they escape, it's like that. Like, that's not a ship. That's a shuttle. They're, like, that shuttle belongs to a bigger ship. So even if they kill both of them, like, they only have their shuttles. Like, where's the bigger ship? And then that way, the captain comes to get them. It's like, what the fuck? Blah. Okay. So they have the lieutenant, who has no information, but says, listen, this guy showed up. This street gang is increasing in size. It's his old gang. Help me take him down, and we'll figure out what's going on together. And the second one is the mayor's assistant's like, listen, this person keeps showing up. Like, every time they show up, someone disappears. Like, local leaders have been taken. We think the mayor's next. Your bodyguards during the gala, and during the gala, maybe, like, those members show back up again. Like, wait, what the fuck? Weren't they kidnapped? And then they all, like, have their weird mutations. It's like, what the fuck's happening? And that guy shows up. Yes, okay. During gala, supposedly missing people reappear, claiming to have no knowledge of being taken. Eventually, fight breaks out as kidnapped members. Yeah, thanks, Jake. I'll talk to you later, man. Kidnapped members are revealed to be corrupted and are trying to kill players / take mayor. Okay, now I'm thinking about it. I think I might move the captain fight to chapter 2. Because maybe this is now fighting these two guys or girls or aliens is what leads them to Arnok. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Take away first because there's only one corrupted captain. So I'm gonna say end of chapter 2. Then is this because then the beginning of chapter 3, after you destroy this captain, then you're like, we gotta it's the Crucible. We gotta go to the Crucible, and the beginning of chapter 3 is the fight through the Crucible. The space fight to it, and then the dungeon crawl. There we go. Okay. The leaders from... And then if the leaders from chapter 1 are still alive and uncaptured, they're also going to be in this fight too. Cool. All right. All right. I think that looks pretty good so far. After both leads are followed, players... Actually, no, this is even better. So after they do both, players receive info from both leads saying that the ship both targets worked on was seen on Arnok. That's simple enough. So, yeah, because that way when they're fighting, they're like, listen, we interrogated some of the guys, we've gone through security feeds, we cross-referenced the ship. The ship they were supposed to be on that disappeared has been seen on Arnok. Go there. And that takes you to Arnok. And then on Arnok is now the search for the ship. Arrive on Arnok, and then players search for lost ship. And then when they find the ship, bam, you got your captain. Players search for lost ship. So maybe so small portion of city on or oh when the, okay arrival on Arnok, they search for the lost ship. When players arrive on planet, one of the forges has gone silent and no one has returned from scouting missions to Forge. Forge has been taken over by Captain, who is corrupting the employees to build more ships to transport the Crucible's corruption across the galaxy. Okay, bam, there we go. There's our big thing for Chapter 2. So then Chapter 2 is also kind of a dungeon crawly thing. Fighting your way through the Forge until you eventually meet up with the captain, fight the captain, find him rushing, telling him he left from Arnok. Okay. Yeah, so after this, it doesn't matter what the fuck happens to the captain. Because by this point, they're realizing, like, yo... Like during the fight, they'll be... Yeah, okay. During fights, captain and other crew, if still alive, will mention things they've seen. Giving players... Oh, no, that's perfect. So when they capture them or kill them, the ship has the coordinates for the Crucible. And done. Duh. Okay, well, leave it anyway. Captain's ship has coordinates for Crucible. There we go. And there's our segue into Chapter 3. Cool. All right. I think that's a pretty good start for right now. Neat. So, Master Crucible. Oh yeah, this is the original one I had. Plot twist: the Crucible was corrupted as a life raft for a dying race. That's not bad. I think, yeah, it's because the other idea I don't know if you were here when I came up with it. The idea I had was that this alien race corrupted it on purpose as experiments. Because they want to see if this would work. Because they want to turn other races... it's the consciousness of those aliens who are corrupting them. It's not bad. It's actually not bad at all. Because I keep thinking, like, this race wants to try and morph other races into its race. And it, like, wants to consume, like, almost Tyranid-y. They want to consume and turn them into themselves. So they corrupted this Crucible as an experiment to see if it would work. And now when the players stop it, they're like, well, how many other fucking Crucibles have been corrupted? And that can cause them to go search out other ones. I mean, that's not a bad idea, though, as well. Let me put that in there as well. Other idea. Crucible was life raft for dying. Going by storyline is a lost race that no one knows based off the language. For dying race that accidentally caused corruption. It's not bad. I mean, I'd like to have a couple endings just in case, like, I want to choose different ones or something like that. Also, maybe the final battle in the Crucible could be against whatever species this race is. It could be against these aliens. And then, either they kill it, or it escapes, and then, like, what? Yeah, actually, that's perfect. So, whatever the ending is, the last, the final battle of Chapter 3 is going to be against whatever alien this is. So, Dungeon Crawl, Final battle is against ancient alien race. If killed, players can bring body back to others to study and figure out what it is. If escaped, players can report back on what they've found and attempt to track it down. Maybe they were peaceful over the years, their conscious minds were warped and corrupted. That's not a bad idea as well. It's not bad at all, actually. Were peaceful. I'm going to put all this stuff down just in case I want to pick and choose at first, and then became violent after millennia of isolation. Because that fucks with people too. Cool. Alright, I think this is a good stopping point for right now. I think we're good. Been streaming for about 2 hours now, and I think we've got a pretty good handle on at least the overall outline of the module. And then from there, we can jump back into here and we can start actually formatting it up. But yeah, I think it's pretty cool so far. I like it. So then story reviews, they know strange events. Well, we can fix this part now because the overview is now different. Arriving the chasing leads on the newly discovered crucible. After tracking down leads, players are led to Arnok in search of lost ship. And then players must also enter the structure and figure out the mystery. Okay, I think that's good so far. Hey, Xanthus, thank you for the follow. I think it's a pretty good thing, right? So the summarize as follows. Players arrive in the Valoria system chasing leads on the newly discovered Crucible. After tracking down their leads, they're led to Arnok in search of lost ship that was said to have lost ship with location of Crucible. Yeah, perfect. So that way they follow the leads, and now they're looking for the actual ship on Arnok. They find the ship, and then players must also enter the structure and figure out the mystery of what's going on. Bam. I like it. Cool. Alright. Neat. Thanks, guys. Alright, well, on that note, I'm going to get going. Only it is a broken transmission, meaning Crucible with no location. I like it. Yes, I like it. Very cool. Alright, guys. I will talk to all you guys later. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'm probably going to be continuing this Crucible equals Halo. Shut up. Be continuing this later on, probably later this week, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. It depends on what I'm hearing about for work. But regardless, stay tuned to my Twitter, which I didn't tweet about this stream at all because I'm a fucking terrible person. Which is why Discord's better, because Discord I give an automatic update when I'm streaming. So, on that note, guys, thank you all for hanging out. Really appreciate it. If you want to help me playtest stuff, if you want to help me homebrew different things, you have critiques on balancing, whether it's races, monsters, classes, adventures, whatever, hit me up, man. Hit me up on the Twitters, which is right there, or the Discord, which is right there. Pretty cool, right? Alright, well, again, I'm going to get going. Before I do, let's find someone to send you guys to. Start the party on one location. Let's see, who's still streaming right now that could go for a good host? Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna send you guys over to Perception Check. There's some pretty cool fucking people. Or sorry, Perception Studio, as they're called. Oh, it's also one of my anniversaries. Isn't that fun? Oh wait, are they not streaming anymore? Play. Nope. Are they live? I'm very confused on if they're live or not. I think they just finished. Son of a bitch. Alright, well, never mind. We're not going to send you guys to them. I'm a pig now. Where are we going to send you guys? We'll figure it out. Either way, Twitter, Discord, join / follow on all of them. And I'll talk to you guys later. Until next time, I've been Bad Chili. And thank you for hanging out in the brewery. I'll see you next time. Brr.